here at the Meadowlands back on November 23rd was second off a helmet. The start after that kicked home in 26-3 to finish fifth. She was fifth to Pen Pal there at this level. So now, returning to a surface she's raced well on in the past. Sure, that last race isn't necessarily a confidence booster, but if you toss it, she looks kind of decent. Family Roll Call hanged a touch in the stretch when she went first over. Ended up finishing second to Cuts Like a Knife. I forget Cuts Like a Knife as a horse where she kind of ranks on this circuit. But nonetheless, Family Roll Call still went a rough trip to finish second. Really should have won, but maybe with that start under her belt, she'll be a little bit tighter and a little bit better. Because tighter is better. Pen Pal, it's the third horse I use. Like you said, it's a class play. She always finds a way to just be so far out of the mix, and then when she has to close in the stretch, she either has enough ground to do it or she doesn't. It's really a shot in the dark with her on that. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. I'm not necessarily confident in Pen Pal, but can she sweep the field? Yes. On a night like tonight, it's probably going to be more difficult. 2, 3, 4. Third leg is the 10th. Hours of $8,500 trot. Their last 5 starts. 1, 2, 4, 10 horses going.
This is for tonight, by the way.
Yes, this is tonight's pick 4, as Rod just has to assert the fact he does exist. Mike, however, what are your numbers?
Up too deep in this one, and I felt like there were 2 horses dropping in here that have a better chance. The 3, Rosita, really no chance last time whatsoever from the 9 hole. Was roughed up the entire way, 3 wide. If you watch that replay, you could almost single this horse off that effort. That was just an absolute no shot. Drops now to a much more reasonable spot with a more reasonable post and gets Yannick again. I would expect a better effort. And then the 6, NAHU. This was another dropper. Raced well, numbers of 8,500, 2 and 3 back. Last time, no shot. And, I would expect this horse to get away a little bit closer. I would expect him to be a little more aggressive here. Gets a driver switch. The home team's here, so, Joe Bongiorno is going to drive this one. I think this horse fits on class and any kind of trip, and this horse is right there. So 3-6.
I went 2-3-6 in leg 1. I liked it so much I went that way in leg 2. Mike, I know you know what I went in leg 3 then.
2-3-6 again.
That's right, 3-4-6. I start with Reseda dropping in class off of that effort from post 9, parked the mile, tried to close 3 wide, but then the legs just stopped working, and he gave way to finish 8 by 11 lengths. Still won a tough trip there, so now with the better post against a weaker group, he might be able to improve. I used Better Call Saul, who's raced against this group in the past. He finished second last out, going first over, second by 4 lengths, might add. So he lost to a much better horse, tends to go first over, really doesn't look like he gets good trips ever. So in my mind, if by hypothetical situation, he were to get a not first over trip, he might be able to do well. So that's enough for me to say, hey, he could be okay. And Ulan Noir, which I believe in Nordic translates to Ouchie Dark. This horse, last out, was up against tougher, tried to close, but was just in against too tough for his own liking, and he was pretty flat in the stretch. He otherwise has been competitive against this level. 2 starts back was second, 3 starts back was third, and 2 starts back he was second with the disadvantage. He had a terrible post. He was able to get off the gate decently to ride cover and then close home well. So if he gets a decent trip, he could probably find his way into the mix. That said, 3, 4, 6. In the third leg, final leg of this pick 4 sequence for tonight at the Meadowlands is the 11th race. It's a $10,000 claiming affair with 10 horses going postward. And Mike, of the 10, what do you have?
4 of them, mostly in the middle of the gate. The 3, it's no problem, man. Comes off the Bongiorno claim. Raced well last time on the front, just got tired. And, gets an easier spot here, I think. Draws well. I'd expect the front-end effort again. No Cheyenne Raider in here. The 4, Rock on the Hill. This horse gets ANAP here, and that's a decent driver change off a win. A little bit tougher race, but this horse fits against these horses. The 5, Ideal Romance, another one that likes to be up close, has been claimed 3 straight. I like Jason Robinson getting anything into his barn, so now Brett Miller on. This horse gets bet every time. 9 wins this year, a must use. And then the 6, 4 Stasis. Scotty D won 2 last night. This horse kicked home 27 and 1 last time. From the 9 hole, draws better, and we'll be in the mix late. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I used 2 horses in this last leg of the pick 4. Your last horse is my first horse. Ain't that such a little coinky dink? 4 Stasis last out from post 9, slept off the gate to get away 4th, sat 4th, then into the stretch, managed to gain some ground to finish 2nd, only by a head to Cheyenne Raider at this level. Now, making his 3rd start off of a 6 scratch, he has an improved draw. So long as he can get into that tactical spot again, I see him being more productive than he was in that start. And I also throw in the 7, Pumped Up Kicks, who likes to get involved early on. And if he gets involved early on with how the track has been playing for horses who get involved early on, then he, in the late stages of the mile, might actually win. Last out was 3rd by 3/4 of a length to Cheyenne Raider in that race, 21 to 1. 3 starts back, was claimed for $7,500 as the favorite. He was 2nd in that race behind Abby Lara, decent horse, heading into the G-Notes final, where he was also 3rd. So this horse has been competitive on the claiming circuit. He's raced well for the new barn. 3rd start off the claim, I'm correct. Could just continue that trail of improvement, just a teensy bit more. He'll be a decent price in the pick 4 at the very least. So I'm 6-7 in the last leg, which makes my ticket go as follows for 50 cents. Tonight's pick 4 at the Meadowlands, I go 2-3-6 with 2-3-6, and I did not stutter. With 3-4-6 with 6-7, $27 for 50 cents. Mike, your play.
1, 2, 5, 6, 7 with 3, 4, 7 with 3, 6 with 3, 4, 5, 6. It's $60 for 50 cents.
And Rod, you're all away. You didn't handicap a ticket.
I didn't do one for tonight. I got one for mañana.
Yes, everybody wants to play tomorrow.
Rod, why do you have to talk about fruit on my show? This is a show about harness racing. We don't need your potassium-rich mañanas or your bangos or your wongos or your melons or anything of those sorts.
Well, those watching, shout out to Mark Anderson, friend of the show. He made the point to bring up that Ray is the newest member of Dan Patch Award winners. So we, everybody watching on video, if you see it, congratulate Ray on that. And thanks for bringing that up, Mark. But we do got to go pick 4 for tomorrow. Good one.
If there's anything I love doing, it's tarnishing an established institution. Tomorrow's pick 4.
This is an aside. Like, where do they get the picture that they put? Like,
here's the thing that really irritates me. They took credit for that photo that I clearly took myself. I don't know why.
I was dying. Like, this is so funny.
They sent it to U.S. Trotting. Okay, so story about that. That was Breeders' Crown 2014. And that Friday we did a show here in the
4 years ago. 4.
That Friday we did a show in the studio, and I just took a picture as promo saying I'm having a great time at the Meadowlands, except it was me putting my thumbs up with the Meadowlands feed on my computer in the background. And then the next night I knew it was going to be at the Meadowlands, so I took another picture and I put the exact same caption because it's I don't know why I thought I had to do it. I just thought it'd be fun, and I did it. And all of a sudden now it's their picture. And they took the picture.
Couldn't find a better picture for you, seriously. Like, I was just like,
I said to Ron, I wanted them to use my mugshot. The one that I have plastered all over my website, RayCatolo.com.
With the suit.
Oh yeah, or the one from my Brute Force music video.
Oh, that would have been great. I don't know. I think we need, that was rushed. We needed to get something else in there.
Not only that, now I have this beard. I look nothing like the person I was 4 years ago.
Well, regardless, you still won, so.
But here's the thing: a 4-year-old picture. I mean, you were like what, 15, and that's the picture they're putting up for you.
He didn't even have peach fuzz then.
4 years ago, I would have been 26.
I mean, I don't know. I'm struggling. So they closed in this race. The track's changing just a little bit here, Ray.
Well, 3 to 5 favorite. Can you really judge it?
I know that, but I'm just saying that the here comes the 7 to get second.
It's
just an observation.
The favorite one, so I get
trip. That's Darling on the Beach against some other ones.
Against creatures we assume are horses. They could be others. They could be manatees. How come? What is a female manatee called? Okay, so we're going to move on to the late pick 4. There's one pick 4. The pick 4 for Saturday at the Meadowlands, and we'll talk about that. How long are we going here tonight? That's my question.
What do you guys think about the changes for the wagering menu that they got now?
I didn't see it yet. I had heard they were doing a couple changes, but I didn't see what they were doing.
Give you the highlights.
Yes, Michael. Mr. Michael J. Prebosi will present to us.
Yeah, Mike's going to give us the highlights of the new wagering formats, and I'm actually going to react to them, learning about them for the first time.
Okay, so they're going to put the pick 5 where it used to be, the first 5 races.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They're going to take the Survivor and move it to race 3. And then, depending on how many races, it's going to be pick 8, pick 9, pick 10, whatever.
Okay.
That's fine. They're taking all the pick 3s out except for one, and it's going to be the last 3 races. There's only going to be one pick 3.
I don't mind that.
The entire card. They're putting rolling doubles in.
Every race hate it. A double. Hate it.
Okay, and then they're keeping the pick 4s the same. That's what they're doing.
I'm not a fan of rolling doubles. I do not like them.
You think they lower the pools?
Yes, absolutely.
What I don't like is, I mean, I'm good with the pick 5. I'm good with everything moving around a little bit. That's great. Fine. I don't care. But, I don't like that there's only one pick 3 because I think that with the big fields,
well, here's the thing.
$1 minimum, that's a bet worth playing in this place.
$1 minimum pick 3. If you have 1 or 2 of them, you can jack those pools up. You can guarantee those pools at 15,000, 20,000.
But they're not going to do that.
They should. Because there's only one.
Like one pick 3. I don't think that's enough. That's just my opinion. They can do whatever they want.
And when you have
the doubles, I'm fine with. I don't care. They can do that.
When you have the rolling doubles, it dilutes the pool every single race. So there's
okay. I mean,
you just have you have when you have too much of something, the interest goes away. Too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing.
You see, what I really didn't understand is how Santa Anita introduced the horse racing roulette wager.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Meadowlands introduced horse racing blackjack, where you have to bet on a total number. It's an exacta. Each horse is assigned a number, and then you have to bet what the total is going to be of the top 2 finishers in order to win. So, the 4 could have a number of a 7, and then the 5 can have a number of a 9, and you have to bet 16 if they finish 1, 2, and then you win. I don't understand. Why make that?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I don't either. We gotta get to the pick 4.
You guys clearly have no appetite for facetiousness. I understand.
Yeah, we don't know what the heck you were even talking about.
Horse racing roulette? I never really do they think we're that?
Well, that's certainly taken a beating on Twitter, by the way. The whole horse racing roulette thing.
Yeah, because they're pairing favorites with favorites.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But hey, don't listen to the gamblers that are putting the money in these pools. Let's listen to people that don't bet or have never bet.
Well, they're trying to target people that don't bet and never bet. That's why they're doing it.
What's wrong with just betting?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're going to target people that have never bet, don't make a casino game.
No, if you're going to target people who don't bet, don't make the bet complicated. Because
I don't think it's all that complicated.
Well, no. You know what? Ray's on the right track because, Ray, you might remember this. I said back quite a few months ago, early in the year, the exact same thing. You want to bring people in, get rid of all the crap wagers you have, get rid of a pick 5, you can get rid of a pick 4, you can get rid of superfectas, high fives, get rid of all of it. Win, plays, show, exacta, trifecta. Daily double. There you go. Have those wagers. They're simple. That's all they had back when pools were gigantic. And they started adding everything, and it takes away from these pools because people are putting more money into these exotics pools, taken away from your steady takeout, steady, solid bets that people like to bet. People like to play safe bets that they think have a better chance of winning.
That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is, like, when I'm if I were to handicap Santa Anita, first off, how am I supposed to know which horse is assigned to what color? Like, that's the
program.
Who's assigning these colors? That's the second thing. I'm
the racing secretary, I think.
Yeah, but what justifies one horse being in one and one being in another? It doesn't.
What they're trying to do is create action. They're trying.
It's based on morning line.
Right.
And here at Catolo Downs, we're introducing Racing Solitaire. You had to look at the entire program.
It's not handling any money. They're getting like $1,800 a race or something on it. I mean, it's just.
Each horse is assigned a card. You get 52 horses, and it's your job to pick which ones are going to be able to order the ace up to the queen in Racing Solitaire. I'm going to do Racing Texas Hold'em, where you have 2 horses, and then we pick 3 winners at random over the card, and your horses have to line up.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense already.
Exactly. It's going to handle so much money because the kids love Texas Hold'em. You turn on the TV, you can watch Artie Lang playing poker. I mean, come on, who doesn't know how to play? It's so simple, so easy. It's going to make so much money, and then I'm just going to be able to roll around in my grave just on loads of Benjamins and on so much drugs that I was able to buy because I don't know how else to spend my money if I'm so rich. There's only one commodity to buy it on, and it's not real estate, it's not automobiles, it's not stock markets, it's good old-fashioned substances. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to move on.
Good.
We're going to move on into tomorrow's Pick 4. We're going to start previewing that. The first leg of this Pick 4 starts in the 8th race, horse racing roulette. Man. We'll have the first leg live. Are we gonna cover the whole Pick 4 sequence? We can. We can cover it all.
It's already 10 to 10.
Yeah, that's my thing. We came into this show thinking we weren't gonna do a whole show, and now we're gonna end up doing a whole.
That will be here at 12 o'clock.
Well, I got things to do after 11:30 that don't involve either of you. Let's keep it that way. Saturday's Pick 4 starts with the 8th race. I don't mean that in like a rude way. You two are great friends to me. It's just I don't know why either of you guys would wanna go light candles in the woods and then try and summon the Dark Lord himself. I don't know why you guys would want to do that. That doesn't seem like up your alley whatsoever. It's okay.
Stay away from my alley.
Us, we're actually going to try it in an alley first to see if we can work it out, or if Satan's claustrophobic, in which case we'll move it out to the woods. But us young people, we got to experiment with things because we know nothing until we know everything.
Agreed.
And that everything is nothing. Race 8 tomorrow at the Meadowlands. I should be an expert on this Pick 4 sequence because I handicapped it 4 hours ago, thinking it was tonight's Pick 4 sequence. As I said, starts with the 8th race. I opened up Friday's program by accident, so I can't read you the correct condition. It's at numbers of 12,500, their last 5 starts. It's on the pace, $14,000 purse with 10 in to race. Mike, start things off with you. I thought that this was a pretty... I thought all the good horses were put on the outside.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 4 deep. Bushwhacker's a use just because he's classy.
Wow.
He's in the middle of the gate, though. Was second last time this level. Prior to that was roughed up against better. He's been right there every week, so he'll probably be bet. It's hard to leave him off, though. I mean, he's made almost 700,000. The 5 winning link. This horse, no chance. Last 2 races from outside post against better. 3 back at Philly, 1 in the slot, numbers of 12,000. And he has a life mark of 51 and 3 on this racetrack. Gets Brett Miller now. I think probably a better chance from a better post. The 8, Soho Wall Street. This horse has a lot of class also. No chance last time. Finished up okay, 27 and 4. He's better than that. This horse has 6 wins this year. He's made almost 122,000. He was racing at the top level most of the year. I would expect this horse to be bet a lot more than that 37 to 1 last time. And then the 10 Vegas Rocks, who just showed up here and got hammered off a high morning line and basically just crushed numbers of 8,500. Steps up, draws outside, but that was first time Lasix. I'd be curious to see what this horse gets bet this time, but he's fast enough, just needs a trip. I'll use him 4, 5, 8, 10.
But the real question here is, how does Rodney Adams Jr., the Rodney Adams Jr., start his pick 4 sequence?
Similar here. I'm going inside the 1, though. The 1, London Sealster, moves to the big track, but has been facing tough horses over at Philly. It's Burke and Gingras from the inside. This one's going to be firing out of there. Yannick's going to look for a seat up front. He might be on the lead. He might try to take a 2-hole trip. But this horse, he's been top 2 18 times this year. I see no reason not to have him on the ticket, especially from this post. So he's a must-use for me. The 5 winning link, I think, is not going to be anywhere close to that morning line. I think he's going to take quite a bit of money here. He's coming in off a decent race, just way too far back. Much better draw tomorrow night in this race. And I think he fits well on a slight class drop. Must use from the middle of the gate. The 8, Soho Wall Street. This was Dave Miller's pick over the 10 Vegas Rocks, who won off a month layoff last time. So, that alone makes him a use. Tough trip last time, which is too far back off of that qualifier after missing about a month and a half. So, second start back, I think he's a play. And then the 10 Vegas Rocks, like I said, Dave Miller did pick off of him. And that win was first start for Andrew Harris, and it was off a month layoff. It's a second start Lasix tomorrow. I'm still using him. I still think he's a play. 1, 5, 8, 10.
I will tell you the horses I like in this race by telling you the horses I do not like in this race, because that's just the kind of things I do. It's the kind of breakthrough things I do in this where it hasn't been done before. I don't like the 1, London Sealster. I don't like his lines over at Philadelphia. Last out, he was first over. I mean, sure, he was first over. He had to do a bit of work, but then he was so flat in the stretch. And you're going to say, but it was sloppy, and I'm going to say no excuses, all right? This horse, if London Bridge falls down, he's not supposed to follow suit just because his name's London Sealster. He's supposed to keep going forward. He's supposed to keep moving, because that's how sharks work. And this horse, he seems a bit cheaper than the rest of these. He won against numbers of 7,000 back on November 8th, and since then has just been collecting checks in the tougher ranks. To me, he's difficult to use. Bushwhacker, I don't think he knows where the wire is. He thinks he's racing 7/8 of a mile. He never finishes the race, but he's admittedly always in the mix. And to his credit, he's a factor for that reason, but he's going a mile. You gotta go the added distance, even though the added distance is the same distance you're supposed to be going. And I didn't like winning link whatsoever. He shipped in against numbers of 15,000 last out. Sure, he gained some ground, but everyone was closing that night. I don't think he was any sort remarkable. Didn't put in any sort of remarkable effort up as compared to a lot of other horses that week. And sure, he was racing decently over at Harris, Philadelphia, but I think there's better. Soho Wall Street's one of them. He parked the mile. last week. It was his first start since October, and now he's making that drop in class off of that effort. He still managed to close off of that trip, and even though I said closers did well last week, I'm recognizing the fact he still won a tough trip. So even though he was kind of aided by how the track was playing, he still had to do a bit of work, especially his first start stepping onto the track since he decided not to for about 2 months. Now, making his second start, he can only improve off that effort, and I can only assume he will be a bit more aggressive in that second start. And I also throw in the 9 Decision Day. This horse, he set a pocket trip against Hours of 8,500 last out. He popped pocket to win there easily. And now, if he just gets off the gate, sits towards the front, I see no reason why he can't replicate that. There is a bit of a danger because of the speed to his inside. He could park, and he could not get a decent trip. But his form reads like he should race well at this level. And I'm assuming he's going to work out some kind of trip. I'm only going 8-9 in this race. Vegas rocks. He's a tough one for me to use. I didn't necessarily like him last week, but Harris has been good with these shippers, and he's making his second start since shipping from Ridley Carlton. I can understand if he wins, but he's not necessarily my kind of horse. Too deep for me in the first leg of the pick 4 for Saturday at the Meadowlands. Looking over, did they even step onto the track yet for the 8th? Yeah. Okay, so we move on to the 9th. It's an Hours of 8,500 in their last 5 starts. It's a pacing event with 1, 5, 8, 10 horses going postward. Once again, Michael Pre-Bosey, you have some numbers that may or may not be correct.
4 deep. The 2 awesomeness needs used off his class and the post. He's been knocking at the door, just can't seem to kind of break through at this level. But, it's been facing some tough ones, and, he could trip out to win. He's got back class this year. He's just not quite what he was. The 4, Barima, this horse 10-1 morning line, raced okay numbers at 5,000, but this horse was much better earlier this year, went 49-1 here. That was a tough trip last time, first time back, big track. I would expect this horse to race very well here off the step up, and, he's going to take money again. I don't think he's going to be 10-1. I'm going to use him. The 7, Bruce's Magic, raced well enough on the front from the 9 post, just got picked off late by the aforementioned Decision Day that Ray was talking about last time. This horse has some back class also. Has that outside post. I would expect him up front early again. Then the 9, Griffin Hanover, just missed the nose last time to Mixed Thriller. Has been, getting checks at this level from outside posts. I would expect Miller to leave again. Any kind of trip, and he's in the mix in the race. 2, 4, 7, 9.
Rod, do those numbers sound good to you? Do you like those numbers? Do they resonate deep within your spirit?
No, I've only got one of those. I'm going to start with the 5, Messi. This one
was awful last week, by the way.
Yeah, he wasn't good last week. I think, there might have been some kind of issue there. I think Andrew Harris is going to have him figured out this week. He's going to be much different. And, he took that little break there about 2 months ago where, that was a month and a half or so ago, and he wasn't right then. And I think Andrew Harris knew it, so he gave him that little bit of time off, and he came back, and he raced very well first start, and then he was just flat last week. So maybe there's a little quirk with this horse. I'm going to take a shot here. He's got 8-1 morning line. He's got a decent shot if he can work out a good trip and have a little bit more go late. The 7, Bruce's Magic, brutal first quarter last time. He was out like 6 wide into the first turn, and then he was still 3 deep at the quarter. Didn't clear till the half. I mean, he had every excuse to stop in that race, and he just kept fighting and fighting. That was a big mile out of him. I expect a good effort again tomorrow. He's not really a big winning type, but he does get there. He hits the board. He should be close, and I expect him to be up close throughout once again. And then the 8, Rough Odds. That was a really good qualifier. I'll excuse the sloppy track the last time that he raced, which was at the Meadowlands. You go back and look at some of his filly lines, and he shows some ability. He's definitely a trip horse, I think, but especially on the big track, that's going to be a key. He's got to get a trip. which I think he's going to be able to get from out here, just following cover. If they go fast up front, I think you're going to see him kick home off of that qualifier. That was a very good last quarter in that qualifier. So, with the right trip, this could be the upset play of the entire night. So 5, 7, 8 for me.
What do I like here? I have rough odds picked on top for tomorrow night over at yahoo.picks.com. Did I say yahoomail.com? I meant NAHUpicks.com. You mentioned the qualifier. I thought it was a good qualifier too, especially that being his first start on a track since scratching sick on November 5th. He raced decently against similar, if not slightly better, over at Philadelphia before that, as you were mentioning. And if that qualifier reads as I think it does, and I, for a fact, do know how to read, this horse could be a bit more lively than his potential odds may seem. I use all 4 of the horses that I have listed on the site. I also use Redonkulous stepping up off that first over win in the slop. Sure, he's stepping up, but a horse who wins going first over when he's not the favorite, that to me is worth considering. Just because there's you got to put more effort in to go first over. Not only that, to beat a field. It was a weird collection of horses in that. Now, it was a 5,000, admittedly, but did have some horses who raced well at this level dropping in to that event, if you followed exactly what I was saying. So Redonkulous, he should fit, and he should be at least somewhat competitive. Bruce's Magic tried to leave and take control, but from post 9 was left out 3 wide to the quarter. That really didn't bode well for him in the long run. He finished 4th through the stretch, and he finished 4th in the race, not just at those specific points in time. But he's going to, again, show some speed, and so long as he's not strung out early on like he was, he could race better. And Griffin Hanover, 2 starts back, flew him in 25 and 4 to finish 4th. The start after that did the polar opposite. He used most of his speed early on instead of late to go for the front on that night where the backstretch had a nice little backwind. He went to the half in 54 and 4, went pretty quick, and because of that, he became a little tired boy, and he didn't finish the mile. So if he can find some nice middle ground between flying from nowhere and racing from somewhere, he might be able to work out something good for all of us. I'm 3, 7, 8, 9 in the second leg of that pick 4, and it looks like race 8 at the Meadowlands will be going in a couple of minutes. Current favorite 3-5 winning shot. Tober is 33-1.
I bet the 2 off that. Oh, that's way too high. That's ridiculous.
Am I just wrong?
I just bet the horse because there's no way you can't play him off those odds.
Oh,
and the 7's too high too. There's no way the 7 should be 35-1 either.
Yeah, I don't understand why Winning Shadow is. Well, I understand why Winning Shadow is 3-5. I don't think it's justifiable. I mean, sure, it's Burke.
I get it because you don't know how good the horse could be, but I mean, this is a way tougher race than he's been, and he's got some legitimate horses behind. I mean, this is, I don't know.
I mean, how Pappy
swap from the rail, a trot. I mean, that's a terrible price.
Pappy Go-Go is 9-1. As with 60.
Well, every horse is good. I mean, Rubber Duck's overbet in the race. He shouldn't be 5.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't take Rubber Duck at 5-1. I'm taking Tober at 33. There's no even if I was gonna bet another horse, Tober is such good value in this race.
Right. The 7's good value also at 37-1. And that's
probably
there's nothing wrong with that horse.
Rod, you're incredibly silent, but I realize you have no horse in this race.
Nope.
To the literal meaning of that phrase, you have no horse in this race.
I don't.
Yeah. People use that as
an idiot. Yeah,
really, you'd be stupid not to, or smart. We don't know how he's going to finish yet.
He's worth a play at 30-1.
Yeah, because I agree.
He may not win it. The 1 might go and hide from them, but if this horse gets anywhere close early, it's going to be okay in this one, I think.
That's okay. Now the 1's 4-5. I think some bozo just dumped a whole ton of money on the 1 horse because now he's starting to drift up. He might. He could.
Well, I noticed last couple weeks up at Western Fair they've been doing that on Friday night. where they're kind of playing with the odds board up until about a minute to post, and then a bunch of money comes off.
Here last night too, though, from what I saw.
And from what I saw, I saw a lot of things. I couldn't recall which one I wanted to talk about. They're lining up. 4-5 favorite, the 1 winning Shadow. Second choice at 9-2, the 6 Rubber Duck. Third choice then 8-1, now down to 7, the 5 Asphalto Blue Chip. Field of 10 in line, in behind. Approaching the start, kickoff leg of the pick 4 is now away, and a trotting Majestic Presence leaves out from the outside to the center as Valdo Blue Chip as they all float out for position. Rock of Cashel from the outermost post. Widest of all into that first turn as they're 5 wide with Winning Shadow, the favorite, pushing through the rail. Winning Shadow, a brief lead here to the opening quarter. Tober tucks in behind them. Osvaldo Blue Chip tries to slide to the cones while Majestic Presence now slides past Winning Shadow into the lead. Rock of Cashel on his helmet to the quarter, now drawing alongside to brush to the top through a 28-second opening panel. Winning Shadow's away third into the backstretch, sitting 2.5 lengths off the new leader, while Osvaldo Blue Chip gaps in fourth. Outside then fifth, heading to the half is Rubber Duck. To the inside, Tober. They're then back to Pappy Go-Go ahead of Sylvester America. They're then followed by Torquil, and then in the back of the pack, Tony Soprano. To the half, Rock of Cashel. Carlston has him reined down here. He leads by 2.5 through a 55 and 4 half, 27 and 4 that second quarter. The far turn, the pace is hot. Winning Shadow tips out from third to give cover to Rubber Duck, while to the inside, Osvaldo Blue Chip tries to keep pace. Tober's locked in. Pappy Go-Go's in the outer flow, but now they've got to catch Rock of Cashel to 3/4. He's still ad-libbing on the lead. Leads here by 2. Winning Shadow gradually reeling him in as Majestic Presence drops back to the inside. Osvaldo Blue Chip makes a break. He's taken to the inside as they go past 3/4 in 1:23 and 4. Winning Shadow making his move after Rock of Cashel. He surges by and takes the lead. Winning Shadow sprints away now to a 2-length lead as the backfield now livens. Rubber Duck tries to take second. Pappy Go-Go then towards the center of the track with Majestic Presence to the inside, but the line looming. Winning Shadow has the jump on him. He leads here by 4 in the end. Winning Shadow takes it from Pappy Go-Go. Sylvester America rushed up to be third. Tober fourth, 152 and 3.
What a drive on the 2. What a joke.
Yeah, you see,
absolute disaster.
I want
to loaded the entire way around.
I want to put out a petition. Drivers should not be allowed to read the tote board. I think that's what's happening here.
It was just terrible.
They go, oh,
terrible.
I'm 40-1. I don't have anything. And then they go through the stretch and they go, oh, wait a second. I could have won this.
He's jumping over him the whole way around.
I can't believe Winning Shadow. That's just... And he came home in 29 seconds. That was ludicrous. That was ludicrous. And that is not what we're going to be playing to break. We are going to take a break here as we roll into hour 2 to finish up Saturday's pick 4 at the Meadowlands and to continue coverage of this pick 4 from the Meadowlands. Mike and I, Mike, you had Winning Shadow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did.
You used defensively. I had too much bravado and pride to use him, so now that bit me. And I'm going to recuperate. Mike's just going to lick his chops. We'll come back here with more North American Harness Update on 21st Century SRN1, where it all started. Stay tuned
21st
here.
21st Century.
21st and 21st Anniversary.
God.
SRN1. More North American Harness Update after this.
So I want to thank all of you for letting me come back here to see, what really happens backstage. It's an honor for me to be able to be in front of all of you, especially you and you and you. But I do have to say that there's money on the line out there, and you don't want to go out on the track and do something that seems a little bit iffy, just get that extra check, because it might come back to haunt you a bit later. So clean and fair competition is all I want to see from all you guys. All right? Yes. Yes.
Can I pick up a pylon, hold it until the stretch, and then throw it to somebody passing?
That to me does not sound clean and fair. That sounds, in fact, not clean and very unfair. And also kind of inconvenient. So, like, are you getting off the horse, or no? Okay. Yes.
Is it all right if you're like gonna loop the field and like drag your whip in a manner and then like flip off the judges or anything?
I mean, if the camera doesn't see it, but it still doesn't seem like a good idea because the camera could always keep. Yes.
Is it okay if I drink this during the race?
No. I can get you pulled over by the horsey police that are following you around the track there. That's a bad idea. That's very unfair, very unclean. I'd check your liver if I were you. Okay, so, yes.
Is it okay to challenge somebody with a foot race after the race?
You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. That seems pretty.
What if he's over 65?
So,
and he has tennis shoes and you have boots?
So he's old and he's not wearing shoes?
But he's from California.
No, he wears tennis shoes.
He's from California.
But if they're tennis shoes and he's from California, doesn't that mean he's like fit and vegan?
Actually, he is.
Then he's definitely clean, and that to me seems unfair for whoever's going against him.
Yeah, because they have boots on.
Look, I just want to see you guys out there racing those horses as fairly as you possibly can. All right. So do we have everyone clear on that? Clean and fair. No drinking and driving. No pylons. No middle fingers. Foot races are okay, but I'm focused more on the horse foot races.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that seems clean and fair to everybody. I feel like that's a no. Someone's hiding something.
Juan, what do you think?
Juan?
¿Cómo estás?
That's tú, Juan.
Oh, that's...
¿Es correcto si pateas el caballo cuando va en la carrera?
Sí.
Sí.
Sí. Sí. Yeah.
That sounds clean and fair to me. Go out and do that. Everyone follow his lead, all right? That's what I want to see, okay?
Which is fair.
So we're gonna end this on a chant, all right? Clean and fair.
No.
Clean and fair.
Never.
I'm hooking somebody.
The tune is cool and Lucas. I got stripes on my pants and boots. In prison, you can learn a lesson from the analog to the hot box session. Listen.
Full Pong in Woodbridge. A Markham man faces charges after a brutal stabbing in Niagara region. A Niagara Regional Police spokesperson says the suspect targeted his victim in St. Catharines. The victim was airlifted to hospital facing life-threatening injuries. Marlon Kinsale was arrested by York and Niagara Police in Markham and is awaiting a bail hearing in Niagara region. Peel police have arrested a man who fought another man for a parking spot at a Walmart in Brampton. The incident occurred on Sunday evening at the Walmart Supercenter at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Beauvais. A police spokesperson says an argument over a parking spot became physical, leaving an older man injured. Richard Reed, a Brampton resident, faces 2 charges of assault and uttering threats. York Regional Police have outed...
That's not a charge.
...public driving impaired. The force announced will release names of those charged with impaired driving and related offenses at the beginning of this month. Included in the list this week are drivers from York Region, as well as Uxbridge and the City of Toronto. Chances of showers +2. I'll have more news in the new year. For now, Happy New Year. I'm Full of Pond.
Thank you, Phil, and welcome back to more of The Other Side of the Wind. I'm John Houston, joined here by Mike Prebosi and Ron Allens Jr. We left off. We got through 2 legs of Saturday's Pick 4 at the Meadowlands, and we also heard the first leg, the Pick 4 for tonight at the Meadowlands. Winning Shadow was every ounce of the 4 to 5 shot people thought he was. He cruised away.
3 to 5.
He went 3 to 5, even better.
2 to 5.
He was unstoppable. Then other horses finished to the inside. Wait, I have a theory. Let me look here. We have 1, we have 2. Okay, no, never mind. Earlier in the card, it seemed like the inside was doing really well. And
I did mention I thought it was changing.
yeah, but then the inside did really well in the end of that last race because it was 1, 3, 4, 2, the order of finish.
But they did close.
They did when the race did collapse. You're right there. But now
Somehow Pen Pal 6-5 here and hammered in the pick 4.
yeah, I was gonna mention was actually 3-5 when I saw the odds open. There's 0 minutes to post. I don't know why they card 14 races because they card 14 races, but then they start so slowly and then they hustle the last couple of races as if they don't learn their lesson. That you got 14 races, you got 4 hours to get them all in. It's a tight amount of time. Like I understand we have we do a 2-hour show and we have a hard enough time doing 4 races. They think they can fit 14 and 4? Forget it. They're on the track now though for the 9th race. Pen Pal has mentioned 6-5, 5-2 second choice, itty bitty. Okay, that horse makes a bit of sense. And the third choice at 6-1. Believe in me. It's the third choice.
I don't know how the 3-7-1. I don't know what's going on there.
That's a little weird, especially because it's a Burke and Gingras. At this point, I just love Pen Pal being in these races because of how overbet she is. But she might end up not being that overbet if she somehow swoops the field in this race. Who knows? But they're gonna be scoring down. I'm going to guess we have about 3 minutes until this race.
Probably more than that. I think 5.
Oh, really?
Let's go. Let's get these last 2 done.
All right, so the third leg of the Saturday Pick 4 at the Meadowlands is the 10th race. Since the Pick 4 starts in the 8th, the 9th can only be the 2nd, and then the 10th being after the 9th would be the 3rd. This is the numbers of 12,500 their last 5 starts. 10 horses lining up here. And in all honesty, Mike, I thought that this was a 3-horse race.
I have 4 of them, but I'd probably have the other 3 that you have. I'm going to use the 2, though. Johnny Cute stepping up from numbers of 5,000. 1 out of the 10 hole, came from off of it, flew late, raced really well, and was better earlier in the year, went 50 flat at this place. Draws well, is going to be hidden again, and could be live late. The 3 Del Roar just missed last time against Better off the drop. I would expect we'll get the front again, won 7 times this year. The 6 Speed again, I thought raced very well last time, numbers of 8,500, just missed to a horse that tripped out. Prior to that, really had no chance. Draws better, keeps you on it, gets Burke. I don't mind this step up because the horse has made over $1 million. And then the 8, McThriller, this horse is sharp. Flew late last time. Like you said, the closers did well, but this horse has been knocking at the door pretty much every week. And I'm going to use this one again. So 2, 3, 6, 8.
Okay, Mike is definitely on the right track. Rod, it's your chance to steal.
Similar. The 3 Dull Roar, I think, is a play from the inside. He's coming off a pretty tough race where, like Mike had mentioned last week, they were just closing the entire night. This one was on the front end, so that's that's a playable bet back just based on that right there. And the slight class drop isn't going to hurt his chances either. The 6 Speed again was a closer on a closer's track last week, but I think this one's capable even on the step up in class. It's Burke and Yannick again. I'm going to use because I think he's going to get a good setup in this race, and that's really the key, and that's why I'm using this horse. The 7 Incredible Shark is the third one I use. I thought was too far back last week, and he was chasing a slower pace in that race. Just couldn't get close enough to make up enough ground. They come home in 28-2 in the race. he come 28-1. I thought he raced just fine from that spot. It was just they didn't go fast enough for him to be closing into him. So this is a similar type of race. He needs to get closer. Maybe Joe Bongiorno is going to have him out and rolling a little bit earlier, get him close to the lead, turn for home. That way, he's got a shot, because he does have a big kick when he's right. So we'll see if he's back on his game. If he is, he's going to be the horse to beat, in my opinion. So 3, 6, 7.
Rod, you were so close to being correct. The numbers we were looking for were 3, 6, and 8. Dole Roar, as you mentioned, was against the track last out. So to put 2 and 2 together, I believe you can. You guys are smart people out there. Speed, again, as Mike mentioned, was live last out. Even though the start before that, he was fairly empty. He did park the mile in that race when he was flat through the stretch to finish 5th. But that was a nice effort he put in last week to improve off of.
Well, that was a brutal drive, too, back. It was brutal. I mean, he was way wide the whole time. It was not very good.
And then McThriller has hit the board in 4 of his last 5 starts, and he's been fairly competitive, especially when riding a helmet. 3, 6, and 8 were the numbers we were looking for. So we're sorry, Rodney, you will not advance to the next round. We will get to the 4th leg of Saturday's Pick 4 after the 9th, which is getting ready to line up. 6-5 favorite here, the 4 Pen Pal, 3-1 second choice Itty Bitty. Believe in Me, the 3rd choice at 5-1.
Put a T at the beginning. Put a T at the beginning.
No, he doesn't do that. He was damn patchworthy.
I said Itty Bitty. I'm confused.
Yeah, put a T at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It took him that long.
They're lining up. 6-5 favorite, the 4 Pen Pal. She's already lagging behind the gate. He's gonna catch him. Second choice at 3-1, the 6 Itty Bitty. 3rd choice 5-1, the 7 Believe in Me. Scratch down to a field of 8. In line, in behind for the 9th. In motion, approaching the start, and it's off and pacing. Believe in Me to the outside leaves, but DG's Elsa fires a bit quicker. Family Roll Call a little rough off the gate, and she's heading towards the back of the pack into that first turn. DG's Elsa gonna try and take control. Stellenbosch from the rail gets away in the pocket. Shut the front door. Back 3rd ahead of Pen Pal, the favorite, away 4th. Itty Bitty tucked into 5th ahead of Family Roll Call, now racing 6th. Believe in Me's following them in 7th. Then Gemma's Beach Girl caps out the octet as DG's Elsa cruises to the first quarter in 28-4, a length and a half better than Stellenbosch into the backside. Shut the front door, still racing in 3rd, 2.5 lengths off the front. Even money favorite Pen Pal, half in, half out, moving past 3/8 with Itty Bitty on that one's back. Family Roll Call moves outside 2, while Gemma's Beach Girl slides along the cones. Pen Pal from 4th now ventures first over after DG's Elsa, heading past the half in 57-3. Another 28-4 second quarter set on the point. Stellenbosch now locked in the pocket as Shut the Front Door shuffled back by Itty Bitty, riding cover 2nd over. Family Roll Calls racing 3rd over as Pen Pal now ranges up to within a length of the leader, coming to 3 quarters. Inside, DG's Elsa now a neck ahead of Pen Pal, looming closer to the outside. Stellenbosch tight in the pocket 3rd. Itty Bitty begins to tip 3 high from 4th with Family Roll Call on that one's helmet, and behind them all Believe in Me tips to the center. 1:25-2 the 3/4 time. They sped it up to 27-4, and Pen Pal now takes the lead, but Itty Bitty rallying better on the outside. Itty Bitty a narrow lead on Pen Pal, fighting back towards the rail, but Itty Bitty under a confident drive heading to the line, encouraged a little bit more, and she's going to draw away to win it by a length. Itty Bitty from Pen Pal. Then it looked like Believe in Me might have taken 3rd in 1:52. Not mistaken, I did use the 6 Itty Bitty.
Yeah, I don't. Man, he's the over horses. Harris is just really good right now.
He is.
I just can't. I don't know. Hard for me to have.
Ray, really?
But the 3 was in a perfect spot, was just no good. I mean, was breaking all over the damn racetrack. Probably why the horse is 0 for 11 in the wet. Yeah. So that was just a bad pick.
This was a numbers of 11,000. You really didn't like this horse with those lines at Yonkers?
I mean, the one Yonkers line is just okay.
Then that field she was in against up at Dover was tougher. It's a winner's of.
Yeah, that is a better race. I agree. That's a good race.
And she still closed into it. There was nothing wrong with it.
I don't know. I just missed this one, I guess.
It came in.
That's certainly possible.
6-4. I think the 7 got up for third.
I don't think so.
Oh, was it the 5 holding on?
I think inside looked like good.
Well, 3-1 over even money at the very least. Pen Pal tried to change tactics, but she's a closer.
That horse was just not good enough. Period. That was the drive was fine. The race was fine. Just got beat by a horse that was better with a better trip.
Yeah, Andrew Harris, of course. He's had a good couple of weeks here at the Meadowlands.
The money talk there a lot.
Now, we went through the third leg of the pick 4 for Saturday at the Meadowlands. We're all out of this pick 4 now.
Yeah, that's good. Then we can wrap early.
Yeah, might as well. Final leg of this pick 4, race number 11. It is, in fact, a race. There will be horses going in a circle. In particular, it will be a non-winners of $5,000 group in their last 5 starts. If any of them have made more than that, they're out. Unless they... that's it. If they made more than that, bye-bye, they're gone. So long, see you later, get out. 10 more horses, if I'm not mistaken, line up. I am correct. I'm rarely mistaken, except when I am wrong. Mike, start things off with you. What do you got?
Too deep. 2 prices, actually. I think this could be two long ones. The 6 UF Rock and Dragon raced well from the 10-hole last time. Prior to that, really had no chance in that Yonkers race from an outside post. Did win numbers of 5,003 back, going 51-3. I think a similar trip is possible, and you're going to get a price. And then the 8, Pretty Boy Swag, another one that raced well against McThriller, Griffin Hanover, off the drop, takes another drop, and should be better at this level. I could see this horse close early again, but hopefully that 26-1 kicker that this horse produced 2 back is, last week just could have been a bounce. So I'm just going to throw that race out. So 6-8 to finish.
Oh, you're half right there, Rod. Let's see if you can be even more right than Mike.
I'm going to be more right because I'm not using either one of them. The 2, Park Lane Eagle, the 2 horse. Humongous post shift for this horse. His last 3 starts, 6-hole at Yonkers, 8 and 9 last 2 weeks at the Meadowlands. It's a dropping class. I think the move inside, he's going to be much more aggressive here. He's got 2 good races in a row, closing in 27 flat. Good miles against tougher horses. I think this is the spot that Abatello is aggressive, and he's going to get away up close. I think he's going to take a little bit of action here, but you're still getting good value from him in this race. The 3, Fill Your Boots. Big first over effort last week against the track, like we've been mentioning with a lot of these horses. This one was against it up close. Still finished a game second. Got beat by a closer. I see no reason not to use him once again. You look at that line 2 back. Home in 26 flat in his first start at the Meadowlands. And it's Andrew Harris barn, which just won that previous race here on Friday night. So a must-use in this race for me. And then the 10, Gunpowder. Triton and Stratton, we all know this is the bit of a legend. Connections here. This one is kind of curious. He came off of a month layoff, raced pretty well. He raced okay his first start. The qualifier was really good against some tough horses, Roland and Brock, which we know, he's a 48 pacer. He's an open type over at Yonkers. So I think if Jordan Stratton can get him into position and get close enough turning for home, he's going to need some fractions up front, obviously, but he's got a shot from out here. I think you're probably going to get good value, and you're not wasting a pick on this horse just because, it's really only his third start in the U.S. since being bought. I think this horse is due to improve, and you're going to see these connections have this horse ready to go finally, even from post 10. So I'm not going to let him beat me, and you're getting good value there. 2-3-10.
I didn't think it was possible you could be more incorrect than Mike. It's just very unfortunate. There's 3 horses you have to use in this race. You were close. Fill Your Boots is one of them. Mike was also right with UF Rockin' Dragon, or whatever that horse's name is. I'll get to him in a second. Fill Your Boots, though, first over in that last race as the favorite, dropping down to this level, did finish second, mostly because of the trip, but also Mariner Sealster's a much better horse. He was a horse racing up in the hours of $15,000, hours of $12,000 levels, and doing so competitively. So Fill Your Boots at least lost to better competition, even though he went off the public choice. Now he's back at this level, second start back at this level, third start on the big track. Well, just all angles that are very positive. UF Rock My Dragon, UF Rockin' Dragon, I was very close. Won at this level, 3 starts back, shipped to Yonkers to be put up on for a claiming tag for some odd reason, then shipped back here to race against Tougher last out from post 10, and did so, at least finished 5th, was gaining some ground through the stretch drive, now gets a better draw and drops back down to a class level where he won already. Those are 2 positive signs in my book, and also from the book I am reading. And Swollen Dam is the 3rd horse I used, the 5 horse. Tried going first over last out. Again, this was when the closing bias was incredibly evident. This horse was first over just as soon as they clicked to the half, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering the race correctly. I know because I bet this horse. And through the stretch, he was fairly empty, but all the other horses had just flown by, so he was in that big pack fighting for minor honors when they were going into the headwind. Nonetheless, he's also dropping in class, and he's gone some tough trips over at Yonkers against Tougher, and he's finished evenly against those tougher groups. So maybe now dropping into this level, he's coming from a hot barn. Blackler's horses have been doing okay, shipping over here to the Meadowlands. I know I said hot, and I say they're doing okay. At this point, I just want to go home. I'm not home right now. I'm in a basement. The basement is not home. Swollen Dam's the last horse I use. Here's my ticket for 50 cents, and you can find it on NAHUpicks.com, as well as my entire analysis for Saturday's card at the Meadowlands. I handicapped that instead of Fridays. My ticket for 50 cents goes as follows. I'm 8-9 with 3-7-8-9 with 3-6-8 with 3-5-6. It's $36 for 50 cents. Mike, your ticket.
4-5-8-10 with 2-4-7-9 with 2-3-6-8 with 6-8 at 64 for 50 cents.
And Rodney.
1-5-8-10 with 5-7-8 with 3-6-7 with 2-3-10, $54.
And with that said, with that done, that does it for another year of North American Harness Update. Thank you to anyone who decided to tune in at any point in this year, or even if you were just scrolling through your Facebook feed and you went, what the hell are these guys doing? Why are some of their heads bigger than others? It's because they're scaled differently in the boxes. But I digress. We'll be back in 2019 with some more shows, presumably, from places that are here and places that are not here. You can stay updated on that if you keep going to NAHUpicks.com. We update the website. You can follow us on Twitter at NAHarnessUpdate, at NAHUpicks, or you can like us on Facebook, NAHUpicks, or North American Harness Update. I have been and will try to continue to be Ray Cotolo. They're Mike Bribosi, Rod Allums Jr., and for the first time in what I think has been my entire life, I don't think I have anything more to say.